you, Karen, for the earlier presentation. So I'm just going to introduce our next presenter. So April 1st is now only 1 month and 26 days away, or 55 days from today. April 1st is commonly known for jokes and pranks as it's April Fool's Day. However, our concern should not be the fun of April Fool's Day, but the fun of the arrival of the next round of changes to Microsoft Dynamics 365. Yes, there is another round of changes fast approaching. So with some hints and information to help us with surviving 2020 round 1, please join me to welcome Gill Walker. Thank you.
So yes, as Kat said, coming up we have got changes. And the changes are, as with the previous releases, going to be wide-ranging. They are pretty much across the whole of the Dynamics 365 product set. We've got changes in the sales product, customer service, marketing, FinOps, human resources, which used to be talent, business central, and commerce. And then some newer products which are also changing, market insights, customer insights, and product insights. So pretty much wherever you specialize within this big and getting bigger family, there are some changes coming. I'm going to focus mainly on the changes in CE because Karen, as you've probably realised, is a FinOps person. I am much more a CE person. So my focus and blogging that I've been doing recently on these changes have focused on CE. So changes in the customer experience or CE product. The majority of them are usability and aiming to improve productivity of individual users. We've got a number of changes in how you add products to an opportunity, a quote, an order, and an invoice. And specifically, we can now add several products at once. I say now, of course now is not true at all. Once these changes come in, users will be able to add multiple products. We'll be able to browse the product catalogue using free text. So those of you who are familiar with the product catalogue at the moment, it can be quite clunky. We've now got free text. And of course, free text, as always, is a double-edged sword. We've also got changes to email templates. We can now select a template from a gallery. And there's also quite a lot of other minor changes within email templates. If we create a document using the Word XML templates that have been around now for about 4 years, we can now save the PDF versions of those documents directly to the entity to which they pertain. Previously, it was a number of steps to get the Word document, save that somewhere as a PDF, and upload the change. They've cut out a lot of the do this, then do this, then do this, and it's now one step. Something that I know a number of my clients are looking forward to is the ability to configure the case resolution form. So much of the environment has been configurable since Adam was a lad, but there have been 2 or 3 forms or pages that you get what you get, and if you don't like it, you can whistle. And the case resolution form was one of those. Now we can configure that. And lots of changes within activities, including a really rather cool looking calendar that gives you an automatic to-do list. So for a lot of people that are working within activities, that they adding activities to there, I'm going to do this next week, that 3 weeks on Tuesday, that next month, whatever. That's fine when you're actually putting them, but then move into the future, which of those activities do we have to do today? Well, now that problem has gone away, we've got a to-do list. There are, of course, lots more changes. These were just a few that I grabbed out to give you a small flavour of what's happening. Something that is happening that will affect a lot of users is this specific license change. For quite some time now, we have had a team member license, and for even longer, we've had something similar that's had a different name. And it's always been aimed at those users who don't use Dynamics 365 or Dynamics CRM, depending on how far back in time your memory goes, to a very high level. So it's people who are very much getting given work by management or people on high in their organisation, and their role in that organisation is very much get this and do it, get that and do it, and so on. Those people have been able to have these licenses that are very limited. There's actually been very little or no technical enforcement of those licenses. So there were plenty of organisations that were buying team member licenses, or whatever they were called, and giving those users much more functionality. So that has been illegal forever, but it's not been enforced. With this release, the team member licenses will be technically enforced. In other words, if your user account only has a team member license, you will technically not be able to browse outside whatever aspects of the product are accessible to a team member license. And that will apply to all team member licenses purchased since October 2018, which is probably going to be the majority of them. There will also be different team member licenses. So there's a sales team member, a customer service team member, and a project hub team member license. And again, all technically enforced, and so they will limit you to doing whatever you're supposed to do within those licenses. We also are getting a sales team member app and a customer service team member app. They are out-of-the-box apps. I don't know how configurable they are. And they are quite specifically people who've got a team member license and need a little bit more functionality, where the little bit more is quite tightly defined. I can't give you a great deal of detail about those, but certainly if you are working with clients or working for an organisation where there's a lot of team member license usage, I think in the next 55 days you've got a bit of work to do. So the timeline for this. The release notes were published on the 27th of January. Early access began at the beginning of this week on the 3rd of February. Rollout begins on April Fool Day. And the rollout is expected to be complete by the 30th of April. As with the last 2 or 3 roll-ups or updates for Dynamics 365, there is no opt-out, there is no push-out, there is no reschedule. You, your organisation or your clients are going to get the update when Microsoft or the data centre management feel is appropriate. So to start as we began, April Fool's Day is something to remember for perhaps some different reasons this year. And if you want it, I have pulled together some information that gives a lot more information about those changes. This top one is a blog that I have written, and it includes all of these other references. And as usual, if you would like to reach out to me or connect with me, there are my contact details. And I will now hand back to Kath to close off and allow us to go home.
Thank